Welcome to the Bullpen Podcast. I got a special guest, CJ Knight. Welcome, CJ.
I appreciate it. I don't know how special I am, but I'm here.
He's here. All right, so CJ's got a little announcement to make about the foundation that he's got. So I'm gonna go straight into that, and then we don't know where this is gonna end. We don't know how far this is gonna go. Sure, we're gonna offend some people, but let's go. Tell us about the foundation.
Yeah, so we run a 501c nonprofit. It's called the Macy Knight Memorial Scholarship Fund, and it's been a success so far. This is the 6th year that I've had it. And we just try to raise as much money as we can in a 1 day a year. It's about 2 months worth of promoting and advertising our sponsors to raise the money, and we give the money back to local high school seniors.
All right, who is Macy Knight? Let's get the backstory.
Macy Knight, that's my mother. She passed away in 2005. I was 12. She had a very aggressive form of breast cancer, but Macy was known for her community guidance, I guess you could say. She was a leader, during her trials and tribulations. She was never given a chance. I'm sure me and you will be talking about that at some point, not having a chance, but excelling through. But she never gave up, and she left a legacy, and we remember her every year in her memory by raising this money and having a community involvement, event every year. And we give back, we give back to the local high school seniors of southern Talladega County. So.
And let's talk about the squirrel hunt real quick. Let's get the redneck out of the way real quick. That's the big thing.
So we have a venue. We call it a squirrel rodeo. It's a lot like a large scale bass fishing tournament, where teams have a 5-man team, and it's a 1 day only event where contestants they go out and hunt these squirrels. Squirrels are kind of a dying breed of a form of hunting. We used to do it. We used to do it a lot back then, back when we were kids, but you never hear about it now. I guess because technology and everything.
Well, I'm gonna give you my little 2 cents on this. Right. Coon hunting, and squirrel hunting is dead. But I think what it is, everybody's wanting to be a big buck deer hunter.
Yeah.
And they don't want you running dogs because I don't know if you guys know this. If a dog steps foot on your property, all the deer evaporate, and there's no more deer anymore. So I think that's got a lot of people don't want you coon hunting. People don't want you squirrel hunting because the deer evaporate and they disappear when the dogs get cut loose. That's my thought on that.
That could be true. I've deer hunted my whole life, and I've seen those deer run straight out of the county from the dogs. I mean, they're probably still running. So, But we do have this, and it's a community involvement event. We have it. This is the sixth year we've had it, and all the children that are kids that are 13 and under can hunt along with the team for free. We kind of took the bull by the horns from. I got the inspiration from Jackie Bushman, which who you talking about, a major deer hunter in the deer hunting industry, and T-Bone and Michael Waddell. They have a nonprofit event every year where they do a squirrel hunt as well in Georgia, and of course they have a lot more bigger corporate sponsors and stuff, and I'm sure that they raise way more money than we do, but kind of the same scenario guidelines. That's kind of how I come up with it. Squirrel hunt's just to me, it's a way to get people outdoors, especially for one day a year. Hey, it's a fun time for sure.
I love it. Grew up doing it. We had squirrel dogs, and man, some of the best times was squirrel hunting and coon hunting. We'd go squirrel hunting straight into coon hunting.
Excuse me,
who is it?
That's my wife, Mary T. So, you think I should answer it?
Go ahead. So, get her on the line. Get her on the call. Hit her on speaker.
Hey, you're on speaker on a podcast.
Hi.
Okay. I was just going to let you know because it's going to be just a minute, all right?
Okay.
All right. Love you,
Mary T.
Bye-bye. But anyway, sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Hey, I got a question on the squirrel hunt. How many fox squirrels do we mainly? What's the average fox squirrel?
We got one team that they should be outlawed for fox squirrels. I don't know what they're doing.
Where they at? I guess at the coordinates. Where they at?
I've heard that they're going to Camden, Alabama to shoot them. And I'm going to tell you, Camden's not, it's a pretty good ways, about 2-hour drive. But I think they've probably won it 5 out of 6 years.
Really?
The fox squirrel side pot category. But we usually get 2, 3. One year we didn't have any. But we did. We had
black.
one.
Are they black or orange?
Most of them are orange with black in them.
Yeah.
We had one a couple of years ago. It wasn't a fox squirrel. It was a gray squirrel, but it was solid white.
Really?
But it was about that big. I guess it was a pygmy. It was real small.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
How many do flying squirrels count?
I don't think there's no distinguish between a flying squirrel, a fox squirrel, and a regular squirrel, to the best of my knowledge, through the state rules. We have not had a flying squirrel come in. I think it'd be cool to see, though. You don't see them very often.
Well, we've hunted in Bullitt County one time, and we got in a nest of them. Okay. And yeah, there's probably 7 of them that come out of there.
And they're scary when they take out.
They're like little rats.
Oh man, it's scary. I've seen them. When we were growing up, we'd have the old shooting houses, and you go in shooting houses. And
That's right.
They take off.
It. Yeah,
they take off. Man.
That with the wasp nest and everything else.
It's unreal.
I'll say this: I was in the preserve one time, not far from here, and it looked like that orange toboggan running across the road, bright orange. Are they real bright? The ones that y'all been getting in?
Yeah. They bring them in. Yeah, they're real. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they really are, man, and they're a lot bigger.
And the fox squirrel, to me, I've harvested one in my lifetime, but I've seen a lot, and I just can't shoot them.
Yeah,
because to me they're more of like a sacred thing. Because you just they're the gray squirrels outcompete them. I don't know if you know that, but it's a part of the ecological system.
Yeah.
They're just being outcompeted. So I look at them more as a kind of like the mystical creature.
Yeah, well, like an eagle kind of deal. You don't really want to shoot one of them. And by the way, I've been seeing a lot more eagles. I've seen an eagle twice. I don't know if it's the same one everybody's seeing.
Yeah.
But I've been seeing the eagle a lot here lately. Yeah. But they look like dinosaurs. You can tell one's flying. It looks like a dinosaur up there.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah, I see them often. They're big.
We're gonna, if you don't mind, we're gonna ease on into your hot motto right now. I've been seeing you put online a lot, and I want you to describe what you mean by when you say bring back masculinity.
I don't know. I'm not sure where I got it from or whatever, but at some point it's just like, I don't know. I believe we need to bring back masculinity. It's just soft. We live in a soft world sometimes. Or it's my personal opinion. Other people might not think it's so soft, but that's all I mean by it. I don't mean to offend anybody or anything if I do, but it's just I don't know. Maybe the way I was raised. Just like my work ethic and stuff like that. Just bring back masculinity.
I think it's got something to do with being a father too. That kind of hits you. I know that when you grow up, and so unfortunately a lot of people don't. But that was with me. Kind of when I got to that age. And actually, if you look at the brain, they were explaining when you have like when I know this is kind of crazy with animals, but like when a mama dog has puppies, they start acting different.
Yeah, for sure.
The same chemicals like for a man, when you have it, so you kind of start seeing these things and you start getting that protective hormone going on. And I think that's kind of another thing that kind of wakes us up.
I agree with you on that. Yep.
Because I know your mindset probably shifts a little bit on how you look at things,
Yep.
Even with hunting or whatever, it used to be all about you, what you could kill. And now it's, you start looking at your kids and
bigger picture, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's a survival mechanism, man. I think that, you can feel everybody getting soft. And like I said, it's a consumer world and we're just made to consume.
You nailed it with that one. Yeah. It's to me, it's all around the board. It's not just in one aspect or one sector. It trickles down through our work environments. It trickles down through, really the way kids are being raised today. I see it all the time. It's just the way I feel, man. Bring back masculinity. I don't mean to offend nobody.
Yeah, well, listen, they said accountability feels like an attack if you're living a lie. Yeah. And I've always said this, you got to you got to hurt people's feelings if you're going to heal their heart.
Yep.
And that's how mine was, man. You know, when the guy that, you know, kind of changed me, my mentor, very offensive person. If you're going to half-ass things,
Yep.
and if you're not, I always like that discipline, that calling out. You know, he don't really say calling out, I'm gonna call you up, and just knowing your potential of what you're leaving out on the board. You know, and that's gonna lead in real quick, because I want us to talk about, you know, what you're trying to do, right, with your channel.
Yeah.
And me and you were talking about it earlier about what you're trying to get done. So explain, you know, your channel and what you're, you know, wanting to do.
Yeah. So I've got a YouTube page, and I have not posted one single video on it yet, but I love to do this, you know, like when I come in, I've seen your equipment and your little room. Maybe it's all these guns and stuff in here, but I guess I want my brand to be seen by others, because I believe that has value. You know what I mean? You talk about value quite a bit, but yeah, I haven't started it yet, but you know, I'm definitely getting into the YouTube world here soon. Just kind of, I'm gonna have to take some pointers from you.
Well, listen, man, this is your first video. We'll say I can tag you in this. You post this or whatever. Yep. This is gonna be the coming out video.
This could be the lead. This
is it. But we talk about it, man, and this is a message for everybody, because I always tell people, nobody cares what I can do. Nobody cares what you did, how big of a deer you killed. This is another thing I've come to learn is nobody cares about your story. They only care about what you can do for them.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, and they'll say, oh no, I really do. But they don't, man. And so my whole thing was to share that fire with them. And I know you got the same heart, because what you're doing with your foundation, and you're giving back to where, look, I'm just showing you what's possible.
Yeah.
Right. And that's even with the body and what I do, but even with hunting and these people that don't think that they can, you know, fish the way you fish.
Yeah,
and
mindset.
Hunt the way you hunt. And I know, you know, like with William Davis and what he's done, he just outfished everybody, right? You know, my brother killed a bunch of deer. My brother's probably one of the best deer hunters, and people would ask him, they would say, well, how did he do it? You know, and I said, hey, while y'all are watching football, while you're you know, chasing women, while y'all are drinking beer, my brother's sitting in a tree stand.
Studying.
He's sitting in a tree stand, and he stayed out there. And so it's not to take away from what they're doing. And what I'm saying is, they always say obsession is going to beat talent, you know?
Yep.
And if you want to be good at it, I guess that's my phone now. But anyways, it's just that this is something that I've learned in the same way with your YouTube channel, the same way, whatever you want to be successful at, just do it over and over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going to get good at it eventually if you get obsessed with it, or, you know, not even obsessed with it, but you concentrated on it, get focused on it.
They always tell us, especially growing up, you can be whatever you want to be. And it's kind of hard to accept that challenge and that fact in today's society, you know, because we see what everybody else has got. And it's kind of, it's like crap, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have that, or I don't have that, but it's a mentality thing of, you know, bring back masculinity. Just go out there and get it, you know, if you want it, and do the best you can. That's just the way that I've always viewed stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it's right or wrong, but it's just what I go by, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, bring back masculinity.
bring it back. And like I said, with your YouTube channel, we talked about it. Are you wanting to do hunts, or you just kind of wanting to show stuff? Like what's the whole?
Yeah. Well, I want the outdoor industry alone, you know, hunting and fishing, hiking. You know, I'm an outdoor writer as well. I do articles and pieces for several magazine companies, newspaper. I just love talking about the outdoors, you know, because I've lived it and breathed it my whole life. But I mean, there's probably other aspects that I would discuss too.
Yeah.
Even, I don't know, financial stuff, whatever. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong, but, you know.
Listen, man, this is the thing I've learned, man. It's okay to be wrong. And I think me and you both struggle with that because, you know, we live in a small town, right? And they've always said, you know, that's your biggest critics, right?
Yep.
And if you can break out of that mindset of like worried about people judging you,
Yep.
and just realize, man, hey, listen, I can say something wrong. I can say something that offends you. Because listen, I tell people, if two people agree on everything, one's not needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
That's
not
true.
going to agree. Listen, I tell people it's okay if you don't agree with me, because listen, I'm going to change my mind tomorrow because I learned and I'll learn that I've done things wrong.
Yeah.
I tell my kids, one of my mentors said the 3 hardest words in the English language is I don't know and I was wrong. And I can admit when I'm wrong, and we can learn and grow. And so that's the one thing that I'll encourage you on that's been with me. Hey,
Yeah.
you're going to mess up. You're going to say some things
Sure.
is wrong. You're going to hurt feelings. Because let me tell you something, there ain't nothing but feelings out
Yeah.
here. And the most, we just live in an insecure society because it comes soft. And
I know that's going to happen.
Listen, man.
We're all going to, if we were created perfect, we would live forever.
That's right.
I mean, I really believe that.
Yeah.
But that's just, it's not in our human nature.
And if you listen, man, if you want to be successful, I'm going to give you, and I'm talking to myself when I'm telling you this. I'm not preaching to you.
For sure.
You got to be offensive if you're going to make it. I don't know if you know this. Go name the famous people right now. If you're going to make it, you got to be a little controversial.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm a controversial person, but look at Donald Trump, Kanye West, Elon Musk. They're in the news. Why? Because they're controversial.
Yeah.
And it's not for controversial sake, but it makes people think.
Sure.
Sure. And so that was my thing is, man, don't be, get out there and say what you feel. And like I said, it's going to hurt some feelings if it's right and it's true. There's nothing more offensive than the truth.
Yeah.
So if you're getting around that truth pretty hard, it's going to make some people feel a certain way. But I don't want to get much more on that. This is just a little intro, and I appreciate CJ coming in. Real quick before we get through, I want to say this because I want to talk about the gator hunt real quick.
Yeah,
you just had that.
Yeah.
Tell me about. But that's probably one of the higher events of the outdoors you've done, right?
Man, Alabama, they issue alligator permits every year. I think your brother's drawn.
Yeah, I've killed. I've drawn one. I've killed one. Yeah. We've killed like 11-footer and a.
I've been applying for it up until I finally drew a tag 2 years ago, and I've hunted just about every animal in Alabama, but I never went alligator hunting. And I finally drew a tag down in Camden, and I got one that was like 11 foot 2 inches long. That was the biggest thrill of my life as far as when it comes to hunting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
And turkey hunting's pretty close, though. Wouldn't you say turkey hunting's up there with it?
It's a different.
I know.
Every hunting. When you're chasing after an animal, it is different feelings. But that alligator,
it's something different, ain't it?
I felt like I was being hunted at some times.
I guess the fact that this thing can kill you. There's some kind of natural.
It's so close. Once you get it and you're fighting it with everybody's mask. Pandemonium, everybody's going crazy.
You got a dinosaur on the boat that can eat you.
Do we really realize what we're doing here? It's like a 500-pound animal 1 foot away from just taking your whole arm off. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest adrenaline rush I've ever had. If you enjoy adrenaline rush and hunting, alligator hunting is probably for you, but it's I can understand where it's not for everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, listen,
it's wild. It's as wild as
you got it on it pretty quick, didn't you? Y'all didn't have to wait. Like, see, man, we've had a bunch of long nights.
This past year we drew a different zone, and we made it happen quickly. The first night we got 2, but the first year it took us, I think, 3 days.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you had got to experience that of the disappointment and staying out all night and being tired.
Staying out all night, sleeping in the day when you working all day, and it's just like
mosquitoes.
All of that goes
bugs, holding the lights. Yeah.
Down in Camden, I don't know if you've been to Camden, Alabama. It's like you're in Jurassic Park. It's like Jurassic World.
Yeah.
It's like
no, we did in Eufaula every time.
It's a lot like Eufaula. Eufaula is kind of the same way, but Camden is even more rural. So it's even more down there in the Black Belt. No people lives down there hardly.
Yeah, they ain't nowhere to get nothing to eat, nothing to do. I mean,
if you ain't got a flashlight down there at night, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's like one of those places. But it was awesome. It was three nights of it. But this past year we harvested 2. And one night we both had tags. And
y'all got 2 in one night?
My buddy AJ, 12 foot. 12 foot 1 inch long.
And what was the other one?
And mine was 10-1.
Wow, so y'all got some meat. How'd y'all haul them?
We just did the best we could. We had one on the back of the boat hauling because you can't go over the weight limit of the boat, so we didn't get in trouble.
You could literally,
So I said, well, I hope we're not out of compliance, but we're going to drag this thing.
Yeah, because we're always compliant on the outdoors.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some outlaw stuff going on in my life, but I didn't want to get, I didn't want to sink the boat, out there, because that's a lot of weight. The one he got was 500 pounds.
And that's not the water you want to go down
in. No. This was on fall.
Okay, listen, man. And so I don't know a lot about. I know you bass fish and all that, but is there any place worse than Eufaula to have a boat on? Because it just seems like a good place to get killed at. Eufaula is. They said they rip more foots off motors than any place.
Mobile Delta is worse. Yes, yeah. If you really want to spend a lot of insurance money and take a bass boat, go to Mobile Delta, and
you can ruin one quick.
Yeah, the graphs there. It might be updated since last time I've been there, but very dangerous. A lot of cypress knees and trees and stuff. Eufaula is terrible too.
Yeah,
but
hey,
yeah.
And real quick, I want to get maybe like a funny hunting story. I mean, there's so many of them. I want to catch one of them. What's the funniest? I guess funny, just off the top. You can.
Man, I've had some.
I know you. Listen, I know there's millions of them, but I mean, as far as funny, can you think of one?
Really funny?
Yeah.
There was one time I set up a fake deer, like the Glendale full rut, the bow target. My buddy was going to his stand, and I kind of, this is a true story, and I was trying to, I didn't want to do it too early because he'd catch on because we were together, and I was going to my stand, so I had to beat him. So I put the Glendale kind of as he was coming in, and at the end of the day, he's like, man. It's like it was way out there, like 300 yards. He said, this bucket just kept standing there all day. And I could barely, he said, I could just see its horns.
So you had it far enough out where
I had it far enough where it didn't look fake, but it was enticing, where he stayed on it the whole time with his gun trying to. And, he was like, man, it just finally got dark and I just didn't see it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that was a fake deer.
Yeah. He didn't shoot at it.
He didn't shoot at it. He didn't have a shot because it was just like the nose and the tip out, just enough where you could see, at the back of Greenfield. But that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was good.
But my all-time favorite.
All right.
I was down on, I think it was either Barber Management Area. I hunt a lot of public land. I'm a do-it-yourselfer type guy. I do hunt private land too, but a lot of public land hunting. And I had it's been years ago, I had my climber on my back and I kept hearing something following me. It was real dark. Coyotes were going crazy and everything. And I kept hearing something following behind me. Man, I had my bow and I didn't have a gun. It's like, this is not good. Barber's on the outskirts of Eufaula.
That's right.
It's dangerous down there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the Sasquatch live, But I kept hearing it and I'd stop and it would stop. Well, what it was my bowstring. The bowstring had come... I'm serious. The bowstring had come down. It'd come down and it was dragging and it was, and I could just hear it. And man, I done got, paranoid.
Yeah.
And, of course, it didn't have a light. I had my flashlight and I looked back and didn't see nothing, I got all the way back. I'm basically running.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, but it was just funny to me because it was a bow strap. It was just a string.
And it was like every time. Well, speaking of down there, and I'm going to tell you mine, one of the funniest all time. We're in Bullitt County, which is not far from Barber County Management Area. And Justin Fuller's grandfather used to run beagles all the time. And I love that place. I love Bullitt County area.
Historical place.
Man, I just love it down there. They're just the layout and the land, and there's nobody really down there. And anyway, so we're running these rabbits, and I ain't been rabbit hunting much, but they run the rabbit in a base of a tree. Okay, and the rabbits, the dogs are sitting there barking, but you could see it. I think it ran up in like a hollow tree.
Yeah.
And so they were like, hey, you got to get it out. You got to grab it out of there. And I was like, man, I'm not putting my hand in there to grab it. I said, I got to get a glove. So I run to the truck, and I guess I'm about 14, 15 years old, and I get this big leather glove, and I reach in there and grab that rabbit, and I snatch it out by the legs, and I start beating its head against the tree, to kill it. And I'm sitting there, my adrenaline's running because I'm a big old rat, and I'm sitting there swinging, and all of a sudden I'm hitting his head over and over. And Justin's granddad, he's old, he can't hardly get up, so he's sitting down like Indian style, and I'm hitting on this tree, and he starts screaming, "Stop, stop!" And I look, he's got blood splattered from the top of his head. I'm just sitting there, the blood of that rabbit's head.
You was drenching.
Yeah, I was drenching. He said, "It's dead, it's dead."
Man, you done killed that thing on the second swing. Man.
Yeah, but your adrenaline's running.
So they're not like cats.
Yeah,
they don't have 9 lives.
Yeah, so you sitting there and I'm just beating them. And anyways, it was just funny for me to look over there and him covered in blood from head to toe and him screaming.
That's hilarious.
To do that. But
what about the grandma? Is she still hunting down there?
No, she's not in good health down. Okay. Yeah, they're actually out of the club, man. But man, that club, listen, man, meant a lot to me. You talk about outdoors and stuff. That's got a place in my heart. I pretty much grew up with Justin and going down there in Bullitt County. That area's got a. Man, I always want to move back. I'd like to buy some land down there.
He always told me to come hunt, but his grandmother used to hunt.
Man, she stayed down there. His brother. His brother hunted down there. His brother used to, murder deer down there. And now they're just hunting. Man, I just love that area down there. And
it's like a vacation when you.
It is. Look, man, I'm telling you, the outdoors, we talk about it and stuff, and you kind of got spurred by because I don't hunt as much as I'd like to. But it's always got a special place in my heart because I've done it so much, man. And coon hunting. I
always tell people the outdoors has a medicinal healing.
It does.
That you can't buy on the shelf.
No, it does, for sure.
A lot of people, that's not just hunting. That could be hiking or whatever you're interested in. But hunting, to me, I never remember a time where the woods let me down.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Well, listen, man, I've studied this. You got thousands of years of history that was in them woods. I'm saying, like, you don't understand. This is a new thing being going to grocery store. The last 50 to 100 years. That wasn't a thing.
No.
200 years ago. You had to do some of that, and so that's born. That's bred in you. You can look at it however you want to, scientifically or spiritually or whatever.
Yeah.
That's inside of you.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's getting lost, and of course
really
that's
is.
what,
it really is.
Even with us, I mean, like I said, I'm softer than I used to be, spreading that awareness. I know that, I guess that was,
but that's, like when I do my articles and stuff, that's my message.
Well, that's what we get it out.
And it's not about like making money for me or anything. I don't make a whole lot of money doing my stuff. I don't care, but if it can somehow help somebody to someone, and you really can't understand it unless you get out there and do it, like kind of like what we were talking about earlier. But there are people out there that still understand that stuff. So that's pretty cool.
No, it's still out there.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's definitely going away, and it's something bring back
masculinity.
And I guess outdoors, I guess that's part of that goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah. And, technology's changed a lot of things. And for the better and for the worse.
Listen, it's a weapon, it's a gun, it's a sword. I tell people all the time, social media, people, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, sure.
It's with everything, okay? People talk bad about social media, but hey, we connected from it.
Yeah.
I would listen, I've always known CJ, but I would have never been sitting here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It can be good and bad.
It can be utilized or abused.
That's right. It's with anything, it just intensifies who you are. It's like money. Money's not a bad thing if you're using it for good.
That's right.
And that's how I've always looked at it. But anyways, what were you saying about that?
It's like I always joke with my buddies, and all of them, Kobe Matheson and Colt, my Uncle Colt, and all these people, and I always give them crap about the cell phone cameras. These highly technological cameras that see the deer and send send the picture to your phone, and through the cell. Just like we're streaming this, and that's made hunters.
So you're anti. No, listen, that's fine. I want you to be controversial here.
Yeah, it is controversial because I'm a hypocrite. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
you don't like other people to do it.
Yeah.
Y'all need to stop doing that. Y'all killing this deer.
Yeah. But no, it's, to me, I think a lot of people, I'm not saying that I'm against it, but what I see, this is just me, my personal opinion. I see people using this, and they're not in touch with the outdoors anymore because of it. You know what I'm saying? If you can utilize it and still be somewhat connected.
I see what you're saying.
You do see what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
Because I see these kids, and
it's
the way
you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
I totally agree with you.
And
I totally agree with you.
It's not that I don't own the cell phone cameras, but I'm not against it because I'm still gonna get out and enjoy the outdoors. But
listen, man,
I grew up lazy.
Man, I grew up with I was not a big hunter. I didn't stay. I got to be moving. So turkey hunting was a big thing for me. I love coon hunting. I love dog hunting. But I grew up in a household that didn't hunt over corn. They didn't hunt. They didn't hunt shooting houses. They were big. You hunted the woods. That's what we always called it. You find acorn trees. You find trails, and that's what you hunt. You don't.
It's woodsmanship.
Yeah, and that was my brother and my dad. They were real big on that. And everybody was hunting over corn even back then.
Yeah.
And with my brother, had a little bit to do with being cheap. Didn't want to buy corn as well.
Yeah,
too.
Sure.
But yeah, man, that was the thing. Is I think too, man, you're also messing up a little bit of a habitat. And so it's kind of like, hey, man, just let them do their thing and go in there and figure out where they're at,
Yeah. And I agree, 100%.
But anyways, that's good because, like I said, I totally agree with you, man. I think what's the numbers? Have you looked at the numbers on people that are hunting, younger people that are hunting versus back in the day?
That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of a hypocrite because I don't have all the statistics.
Oh, no, I was just wondering, man, because I've always wondered that, because I feel like, and we talk about this too, there's not enough does probably getting killed as well because everybody thinks that, they're watching these Instagram channels of people killing stuff.
I think people are more worried about their cell phone cameras than they are the hunting. I'm telling you. That's
a cell phone camera.
That's my opinion.
That's your
because let me tell you, I went up to Kentucky and I killed a giant buck this year, a 140-inch buck. And there's people up there had cameras everywhere. I didn't have a camera. I just went in there and hunted them, and I killed their deer. But
that's what CJ does. CJ's good at anything he does. He's one of them.
I'm not claiming that. I'm just saying it's like sometimes we have to, even if we got all this stuff, you still got to go back to your roots.
And sometimes it messes you up.
100%.
It's one of those things because you lose your game. Tell me this. I don't know anything about fishing.
Sure.
Right? But now, where is the fishing world? Because I got a good friend, Josh Porter, and I'm always asking him because I'm interested in that. But how much is that technology changed fishing, and is it ruining people the same way or no?
The biggest controversy right now in the outdoors is the forward-facing sonar, which is your new electronics, and people are blowing up on YouTube right now because they're talking about it and this and that, and it is a huge controversy. But it's kind of like this cell phone cameras for hunting, but you're using technology to video game the fish in real live format. So it's I have it. I mean, I use it. I don't personally utilize it as much as probably other people will because I'm more of what I consider a shallow fisherman. This is more for probably your deeper fishermen, your more suspended fish. I just don't like doing that. There's always going to be a pattern out there that you can usually tailor to your skill set.
Yeah.
But I do have it. I do utilize it. I do use it. I don't think I've ever won $1 off of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say this is my thought. You know who's still going to win? People that are best fishermen.
The best fishermen.
You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. You may have one or two. Same way with the deer hunting. Listen, man, the good deer hunters didn't need that to begin with. So guess what? They're still the people that are leaning towards those things are always gonna looking for an advantage as always because they don't want to put the work in. And that was what I've learned just with everything. The magic is in the work.
Yeah.
The magic's in that. Alex Ramusi says this. It's in the boring stuff.
Yeah.
It's in the stuff you don't want to do, man. That's where the magic is. But they don't want to spend
it's
that
in
time
the grind.
out there. Yeah, that's
the grind.
Man.
The grindstone, man.
It's everywhere.
I know. Hey,
it's
those
everywhere.
bucks are hard to find.
And the worst thing they said you can have is talent. Because if you're talented, you won't work hard. If you look at it. Well, I mean, why is Cam Newton? Why didn't he do what Tom Brady did? He can jump faster. He can run faster. There ain't nothing he can't do.
He's got an advantage in everything.
But everything. But between them ears, and it goes with, goes to show with anything if you're willing to put the time in. So that's my biggest message to young people in anything.
Yeah.
And even you, and I'm talking to me as well.
Yeah.
My heart goes out for Steve Irwin. He was one of my favorites. But if I told you, hey, if you enjoyed animals, you would die a multi-millionaire. If you like playing with animals, he played with animals, but he found his purpose, right?
Yeah.
Just like you just said, you're doing this because you want to do it. Well, that means you're gonna be successful in it because you don't need $1 doing it. You're gonna do it before and after. You just need to share your story, and that's kind of what this is all about, I think. So
yeah,
that's the purpose.
That's a great way to put it.
Man, listen, go find me somebody that's super successful in it. They're doing it with money and with that. And this is my push for like a lot of the outdoorsman stuff. They're like, man, I want to hunt. Man, get that phone out.
Yeah.
Y'all quit being scared of that phone. And I was too, man. I was scared of it, but because, the people around you are going to judge you. Look, man, your friends are going to hate it. A lot of your family's going to hate it.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep doing it and doing it for the right reasons, man. And they'll turn around. And when you get famous and you start making money, it'll all turn around. But you just got to do it for the right reasons. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And you know how it goes. Because listen, man, the people that are going to watch this, like I told you, it's going to be me, you, and your grandma.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll
4 likes and 4 comments.
we'll go back and we'll look at this and we'll laugh about where you was at and stuff. So I just want to encourage you to push it out, man, and get it going. And like they always said, the first few ones are gonna suck, and you just got to keep going. It's like anything else, man. If I told you to go turkey hunting for the first time, how would it turn out?
Yeah,
same
typically
thing.
Not good. Yeah, but you got to keep it.
Well, that's right. Same way with fishing, man. If I got my boat and went fishing tomorrow, do you think I would win? Of course I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right? But if I went, 10,000 times in a row, I'd probably
get a little better. Yeah, probably.
So, anyways, I want to leave you with that. You got any final last statements you want to say, or anything you want to say about all that? Any more thoughts?
Man, not really. I'd like to tell you thank you for helping out with our nonprofit, being a sponsor this year, having this awesome podcast booth. It kind of makes it easier for us to download videos and stuff. And
don't thank us yet. We got to get this thing posted. But Nicole will figure it out. But
we don't even know if it's running right now.
That's right. No, we're hoping it's on here. But no, hey, listen, and I appreciate you guys. Listen, man. CJ just showed me some love online, and I was like, hey, man, if you need something, whatever. So, guys, just it's amazing what just clicking like and sharing a comment will do,
For sure. That's for sure. And, you've come a long ways.
Oh, dude.
Listen, I remember the person you were.
Yeah.
I've known you my whole life. I know we ain't been best friends.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What you did in a little amount of time that you've been doing this, I'm really proud of you.
I appreciate it.
And it's good.
Yeah.
It's great content. It's great stuff. And you're changing people's lives also by just being you. So that's good. Good for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said, man, it's not for money. I'm not doing it for money. I do get paid for it, but I'm going to do it if one person shows up or if nobody shows up. And I think that's what success is whenever you're going to do something, regardless if the sun comes up, if you're tired or you're not, you're going to get it done. So appreciate you, man. And hey, we're going to probably do a few more of these. So listen, you're welcome here anytime. And
I'll probably come by once a week. I like talking.
Hey, listen. I promise you can't out talk me.
Yeah.
And my wife will tell you that, and it'll probably give her a break. And look, man, we'll start doing these little segments going live and stuff like that. So, that work?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. And we're going to probably get a little bit more controversial and have a little bit more fun. We'll figure out where we disagree on things and.
I bring my wife over next time.
There you go.
Wife and kids. So I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for the Bullpen Podcast.
All right.
We'll see.
See you.
Let's see if that's stopping.